Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Angelia Goode and this is House Flipper. So let's get back into it. It's been a little while since I've been in. Sometimes I just have to be in the right mind frame, and I haven't been in the right mind frame to play games lately. Not sure why, but that's me. So, let's see what we're going to do. We got $75,000 and I believe we just finished a house and sold it. So let's see what we've got. Let's see, we've got 3 emails. Walls to knock down, student's house to clean up. I do not want to do the student's house to clean up. Save me from these horrible colors, honey. Well, we could do that, or we could just go on to a new house. I mean, we have 75,000. So, let's see, house with uninvited guests. Can anybody say roaches? Connoisseur's house. Maybe. House after the flood. Let's see. We've got many generations house. Does that mean there's going to be more rooms than just one? Home admin legends. Home and car. So there is a garage to work with here. But we're getting into the point where we might not have enough money to fix up the place properly. However, we could always do jobs. All right. Let's do it. You bought a new house. Do you want to go there right now? If you prefer to stay in the office, you can always go to the new house using the gate. No, we'll go. Yeah. 2 bathtubs for me, or 1 for me and 1 for my whatever. So the guy wants 2 bathrooms. All right, well, let's start with this. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's get them. Yeah. I really dislike roaches, and I know I've told you all the why. Okay, so let's see. How is everybody? I just took my daughter back to college on Saturday. This is Tuesday. She has already called me yesterday on her, well, she called me on Sunday. I called her on Saturday when we got home, but she called me on Sunday to let me know. See, my daughter, I love my daughter. My daughter is one of the 2 lights of my life. And she is so creative and so beautiful and so sweet and just a loving child. But my daughter is a slob. She is a class A1 slob. But she has been working with a therapist on her depression, but a lot of her depression comes from stress. And part of her stress comes from the mess in her life. Things like her room. Ever since, I mean, when she turned 13, we let her move down into the basement bedroom, one of the 3 basement bedrooms. And okay, that one's gone. They're all gone. All right, so let's see. We want to clean. Let's clean this mess. So she moved downstairs into the basement, and I have told my kids, I used to fight with them about, cleaning their rooms and everything, and I don't clean my children's rooms. I figured they're old enough to do it themselves, and they've been old enough to do it themselves since they were about 9 or 10 years old. So I have basically told them, clean your rooms. And I got tired of fighting with them about cleaning their rooms. So I told my daughter, she was the worst of them at the time. My son has since, started rivaling her. But I told my daughter, fine, it's your room. Um, you do as you want. Um, you keep your room the way you want. Just close the door. I don't want to see it. I do not want to see the mess. So if you're going to keep it messy, fine. But I had one stipulation. You have to have a safe route out of the room in case of fire or, any other emergency. You have to be able to get out of your room. And so for a while, that was the way it worked. And then she went downstairs and started living down there, and slowly but surely her room got worse and worse and worse, and until it got to the point where there was no safe route. I hear I hear I hear the roaches. Um, so there, it got to the point where there was no safe route out of the room. And then she went to college, and we kept telling her, you need to clean the room. You need to clean your room every break. Get your room clean before you leave. Never happened. We even told her, start a little bit at a time. Just work on a little bit at a time. Get it done. Make sure, um, you know, just make sure you get it, finished eventually. At least get it started. If you get it started, it'll be a lot easier. Well, she started taking to sleeping in our downstairs guest room because we have two guest rooms, one upstairs, which used to be her bedroom with a twin size bed, and one downstairs with a queen size bed. Um, but started she started kind of taking over the room and sleeping in that instead of in her own room. So why worry about cleaning it, right? She doesn't need to clean her room if she's got another room to sleep in. Anyway, so this therapist has been helping her deal with mess and getting herself organized and that kind of thing. We're going to sell practically everything in this place. Yeah, I knew I heard him. Um, anyway, so we um, so her therapist has gotten her to the point where she has gotten her room about 3/4 of the way clean. And believe me, it is a miraculous sight. So now she's working on keeping herself at school organized so she doesn't have as much of a mess as she has before. Um, or had before. Um, so she called me on Sunday to tell me that she had managed to get her all her clothes. I mean, we washed her laundry I need a bucket of plaster. Yes, I know. Anyway, we got all of her laundry washed. We had to take it to the laundromat because my dryer is no longer working. It basically air dries everything. Well, that seems like a nice tub. I think we might be able to keep that. Anyway, let's buy some plaster. Um, so we got the laundry all washed and everything. And all right, let's get some paint. What color paint? How about raspberry aura? That sounds pretty. Um, uh, what was I saying? Anyway, we got her laundry all washed, and unfortunately, when you spend, my husband gave her a $10 roll of quarters, and just in case, I gave her, a 5 and 5 ones or so, to use the change machine to get more coins quarters if necessary. And I had an appointment so I dropped her off and went to my appointment, came back, and she has been kind of on the frustrated mode. There we go. But I came back to find her sitting on the floor, just no, not that. Frustrated as all get out. And I asked her what, and she said, well, I made a mistake. I was supposed to put both loads of light colored wash together in the same dryer, and I forgot. So now I don't have enough money for this dryer. I said, well, I gave you the coins. And she says, yeah, but they didn't, the coin machine didn't work. It's like, oh, great. So, oh, okay. Let's upgrade that one. I've never been able to use those ones. And I'm like, great, okay, so I will go and get a cup of coffee, because I hadn't had my coffee yet, and I hadn't been to sleep since noon the day before. I said, I will go and get, a cup of coffee and get some coins. So let's get some quarters for you. So I went and did that, and came back, and we got her load in for drying, and let's see. What would be a nice color to go with this? Ceramic, tiles, 2 shades of white. How about light yellow or some light blue? I think the purple worlds is just too much. So then I drove her to her appointment and went back to watch the dryer, and the first load of light colored clothes and her dark colored clothes dryers went off, and I going to go with that. And I went ahead and folded them up, got them all ready to go. Oh, yeah. And went to the dryer that had that was the light colored clothes. Went to the dryer that had the dark colored clothes and found them soaking wet. They were still warm, but they were soaking wet. And come to find out, well, what I assume happened is that they or the dryer heated, the heating element was fine, but the tumbler wasn't. Because, like I said, the top part of them was warm, but everything else was soaking wet. So, yeah, that happened. And we had, I only got enough change. Well, I got, like, I think I got a $1.25 or $2.25 in change, or $1.25 or something like that. She was short 1/4 or 2/4 or something like that. And yeah, she was short 50 cents to finish the laundry. And so I got $1.25 in change. So I only had 75 cents, which that wasn't going to be enough for another dryer. Because it's $2 for each washer, and I think she used 4 washers, and $1.50 for each dryer. So she went through the $10, and I didn't get enough change, and so I had to take those wet clothes out and put them all in one of her hampers. She's got 2 hampers. So we could take them home and basically air dry them at home in my broken no heating vent dryer. Sorry about the dogs, or dog. I don't know what he's barking at, but yeah. Anyway, so that was a thing. Oh, yeah. Which was a little frustrating, but we did it, She got her stuff dried. Which was okay. It was okay. So she basically, like I said, Sunday called me to let me know that she was able to get them all put away, including her hanging clothes, hung up on hangers, because she went and bought some hangers. So she was able to hang up, she had like 20 hangers. She bought 18 and she had 2 other ones. So she was able to hang up 20 of her hanging clothes. And she thanked me very much for providing or for folding her clothes, because she found that it was a lot easier to put them away once they were dried, or not folded. And I said, well, it's a lot easier just folding them right out of the dryer, and that way you can get your hanging clothes up and keep them from getting wrinkled. Of course, in this case, I ended up having to fold her hanging clothes anyway, because she was taking them back to college. But yeah, so she was pretty proud of herself for that. Which, and I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her for just making a start of doing all this stuff. But this is something she needs to be proud of herself for. And it, my views on it, I guess you could say, really shouldn't matter. Because seriously, it's her that has to be stress-free, not me. So anyway, then on Monday, she called me and was a little frustrated because she found out that we had bought her books, and she found out on her first two classes that the books that she purchased were not going to be used in class. Her teachers, or at least one of her teachers, said that because they had, I'm going to sell that, get a nicer one. Because the bookstore decided to partner with Barnes and Noble, they the teacher was not going to cater to, how did she word it? Cater to the scam. She wasn't going to cater to the scam. And it's like, okay, maybe it's just because it's, maybe it's the idea of it being a big business, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with the big business. Let's see, let me go out the door so I can see this a little better. I'm thinking maybe it's just the idea of commercialism being bad, that it's a big business, big company coming in and getting involved. And, I am not overly concerned about that kind of thing. There we go. What do you think? Pretty nice? Oh, the floor. I guess the floor really doesn't need to be done, but I would like to make it look a little bit more, I could do that. I think I'm going to go with the yellow just to match it with everything else. Come on. I don't see a problem with it. Seriously. I mean, so it's big business, big deal. Anyway, so they decided that none of the books that she ordered were going to be used for the classes, which is rather irritating because we spent $100 and some odd. And she found out, none of her classes were going to be using the books. As I said, irritating. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. Take them back and get the money back. And which worked out fine for her because she wanted to get a printer anyway. Oh, I hate this. Um, but she was. Oh, she also called me. She had an audition because she wants to be. She wanted to do a choir. Okay. Yeah, she wanted to do a choir uh, class. And so she um, had to audition, and she called me to tell me that instead of the class she signed up for, the I guess it's probably the choir music chair, music department chair that did the audition. Anyway, he put her into the women's choir as a first soprano, and she's always been a second soprano. But he told her that she had one of the nicest soprano voices he had ever heard, and she was so pumped about that. And last year she took a class singing for theater majors, and her voice has gotten so rich since taking that. They have really taught her how to use her diaphragm and how to just uh, be natural bring the fullness of her voice to play. Um, so it really gave her a boost to her confidence to hear him say that. So she was pretty pumped about that, and she called. I guess she called yesterday afternoon. She called last night. So yeah, her being gone is not like the last thing in the world. Let's see, what kind of lighting do we want for this? How about we just do this and brass? Yeah, I like that. Ooh, that's awfully bright, isn't it? It'd be nice if they'd actually have it off when we got started. Okay. And off. I didn't think it was orange. I thought it was white. Hmm. Oh well. Um, let's see. How long have I been going? Oh, come on. About a half an hour. So, yeah, if you want to hear the rest of the story, I guess you'll have to come visit me on one of my other channels, or um, videos that I'm going to be doing today. I will probably be videoing my time at Portia next to see if it works a little better. I did try to clear up some of my. Um, it was I don't know if you've seen that video, but it was kind of laggy in my first episode. So I cleared up some of my computer and tried to get some more memory. And I'm going to try with a different recording. I was doing Geoforce Experience last time. I'm going to try Bandicam this time and see if it is better, and see if that'll help with the lag. So come by and see it. And thank you for coming and visiting me here. Oh, well, that's interesting. You can get installations right here, huh? Oh, look at that. Washer plumbing system, sink plumbing system. Wow. That's interesting. Ace, wow, that's kind of interesting. That's new. Anyway, um, just come by. I do want to do one thing. That's loud. Yeah, we are probably going to make that our thumbnail today, just to warn people about what's going to be in this. Um, anyway, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. Um, and if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. And hit the notification button, because I do not upload on a regular basis. I do not do regular, I don't have a schedule. I don't work on a schedule because, as I always say, life happens. Thank you very much for joining me, and please come back again. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.